Happy holidays and welcome back to the podcast. Of course, we have to start off with my rant about people not putting the items back into the appropriate fashion here at the State Library Studio. Democracy is falling right before our eyes. But in light of all of that, in light of all the Westgate works, the traffic, the drudgery of life, someone has come on this podcast to bring that holiday cheer, and that man is none other than Mr. Andre Lew. Andre, welcome to the podcast.
Hey man, what's up? Thanks for having me, man.
No, awesome. It's been a long time cooking.
Yes.
You know, you've been a busy man.
Yes, I actually this morning I was like, I shouldn't talk about how busy I am because I talk about how busy I am all the time with my mates. I'm kind of like, and all the podcasts I listen to, I'm like, they never mention because I'm sure they're super busy as well, you know. But since you brought it up, yes, I am very busy.
That's okay. Yeah. No, it's good to be. It's all right to be busy. It's all right. I mean, you got a lot happening.
Yes.
You know, and it's not just. I mean, we're gonna get stuck into it, but you've got so many things happening in your side with the music and all of that, and you know, mate, we're gonna go into as much as we can.
Totally,
right?
100.
We're just gonna kick it off now. For the people who may be probably aware but not fully aware, do you happen to play music in any particularly popular band right now?
Let me think. Yes. So I'm the sax player for Playlunch, Bogan Funk. Yes, sir. And yeah, it's I don't know what else to say about that. You know, like it's been fucking amazing. We've been cooking, we've been working, and you know, people are really starting to notice, and it's very cool, and it's actually very surreal. But it's very awesome.
Oh, just to add to your surreal experience. So on Christmas morning, I went to a friend of a friend's house.
Yeah.
His name's Stuart Campbell, so we're giving Stuart a shout out. And Stuart cooked a lovely breakfast.
Great,
you know?
yeah.
Lovely breakfast.
What was the breakfast?
Oh, you know, you had your hash browns, you had your bacon,
yeah.
you had your onions.
Love it.
Oh, he did the onions.
Sauteed.
Sauteed.
Oh,
he had the fresh avocado.
Okay.
He had the feta cheese, the olives.
Okay.
Did this nice sort of ciabatta bread and everything.
Full plate.
Mate. Full. We were just He was cooking, and then we were eating the cooking.
Yes, sir. Yes,
right?
sir. Yeah.
And we had the coffee going.
Yeah.
Real nice, super nice vibe.
Yeah,
right?
cool.
Proper
great.
Melbourne bohemian vibe.
Sounds great. I love it. Yeah.
Right? And it was just five of us. It was Stuart, his partner Josh, their friend Akina, my friend Casey, who's how I met Stuart, and you know, we're just sitting down and we're just having a chill in it. At some point in the breakfast, you gotta get some music on, right?
Yes, sir,
you gotta drop the Spotify,
Yeah.
and you gotta open the vinyl player. And I see him reach over the vinyl. And he pulls the thing out, and I was like, you got sex ed? And he's like, yes, I do. I was like, I'm talking to Andre on Saturday. He was like, what? And I was like, yes, I am. I was like, I know Andre Lew, the saxophonist from Playlunch. He's like, whoa. It was like, we watched them and they were great. And like, they talked about one of your shows. And I don't think they mentioned where it was, but they went to one of the shows, one of the Playlunch shows, and they were getting a drink. And I think, is it Liam who's your lead singer?
Frontman. Yeah.
So I think Liam just like walks out, and you guys start with Station Rat.
Yes.
But there's no count in. He just comes out and he just like jumps in the air and like just bang, straight goes into it. And everyone was just like, what? and they just loved it. And so we listened to Sex Ed.
Cool.
The whole, you know, start to finish.
That's a morning and like a half. Sex Ed in the morning.
Sex Ed in the morning on Christmas morning. So
Christmas morning.
Just to add to the surrealism of where Playlunch is at.
Yeah, totally. It actually has taken on a life of its own. Like, it's very crazy just hearing like friends meeting people who know about Playlunch who they didn't bring up, you know, and it's kind of like just really spread. It's like very crazy. It's very surreal. Like, none of it's really clicking. You know what I mean? It's like, and I feel like if you let it click too much, it's kind of sort of a bad idea. You know, you don't want it to let it get to your head or anything like that. It's just, we're just like doing our thing, and we're having an amazing time, and it's super duper fun. But we don't want to let that sort of get to our heads too much. Yeah.
No, I get what you mean, and it's like I've, you know, like I was talking to one of the people at my office, and I was telling her, I was like, oh, you got to listen to this Australian band, and they're called they called Play Lunch, and she like hadn't heard. And I said, go and listen to this song. And it was Keith.
Yeah.
And she was just like, fucking, I love this song. And I was just like, I know, right? And like, I have spoken to so many people who either they're not really aware of Play Lunch as a band, but they are aware of Keith as a song.
Yeah, right.
And it's like probably, it's such a great, like, Australian cultural unifying moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Because everyone either knows a Keith or is a Keith.
Yeah.
And it's very
Or
Australian.
you've heard about a Keith.
Yeah, you've heard about a Keith. It's just like there's always my dad's a little bit of a Keith. That's a little insider scoop there.
There you go.
He likes arguing, but not necessarily about cars parking out front, but you know, he likes to argue. But yeah,
but like I and it's funny because I was telling people, I was like, it's such a uniquely Australian song.
Yeah, totally.
In a very different way, because you know, the 25th of December comes around, it's Gravy Day.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
it's Gravy Day.
Yeah.
And there are days where you might like, oh, today is the day that you listen to Jimmy Barnes or something, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But Keith is almost like it could be any day.
Yes.
Keith could be any day.
100.
It could be January 1st. It could be the 31st of December. And today's a day for Keith.
Yes, 100%.
It's so insane to me how well crafted that song is.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's so like, you know, because I maybe more so than others will pour over a song and be like, oh, you know, and not necessarily like the keys or the chords and all that stuff. But just like figuring out like, oh, you know, like it's cool that they did this instead of this, or it's cool that they did this instead of this, and it's just such a great song, and everyone who's like listened to it, I've not heard someone come back and go, oh, what a bad song. And I was like, no, because as you say, everyone either knows a Keith, is a Keith, or
heard about it. Yeah, it's not 100%. Yeah.
But you know, Play Lunch is more than just Keith. So maybe what we'll start with is let's start with you.
Yeah.
And where Andre fits in to the Melbourne music scene.
Sure. Yeah.
So you're not just a saxophonist in Play Lunch. You also got your own things going on, because I've photographed you doing your solo work as Way Out East.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And then I've also photographed you doing your jazz work as the Andre Lew Trio.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, it's not enough to call you the saxophonist from Play Lunch. In some ways, it's a bit selling yourself short. Like, your talents and your skill set and what is obviously a love for music go much further than that. So give me a background of where the music comes from for you and, you know, how's that sort of grown?
Yeah, totally. It's been a pretty wild ride. I think because it's like the end of the year, you know, when we're having this chat, it's kind of like a lot of reflection as to how the year's gone, and in a way like how the whole journey has gone, because, you know, this has just been the biggest year of my career for sure, like 100%. And so, you know, I started playing sax in high school because of Lisa Simpson, because she's the GOAT, obviously. Yeah, it's
It's like the first reference to Lisa Simpson on the podcast, and there we go.
Yeah,
Done.
you got to get out the way. Yeah, I'm glad it's, you know, still early on, because, you know, she was just a really cool character, you know, on a show we all watched as kids, obviously. And it was just like, oh, dude, saxophone's awesome, you know, because I played like flute, I played trumpet, I played clarinet in primary school, and also like did keys like really young. And nothing really clicked. And then in year 7, I started sax. And yeah, it was just, I really loved it. Sort of, I didn't know why at the time, but like I just kept going on with it versus the other instruments. So I carried it through, and then I wanted to study at uni, but, you know, because I've got Asian parents, I had to do a double degree as well.
Yeah,
you know,
we just call them parents.
Yeah, we just, that's the inside of how Chinese my mind is getting, you know.
Yeah.
You just call them parents, yeah. But it's, yeah, so double degree. And I actually didn't get into my music degree the first time around.
Right.
So I had to like take the year off, and I did like, you know, my commerce degree, and I re-auditioned the next year, and I got in and got through that 3 years in music uni. I really valued it. I met like some of my best friends I have now. And, you know, we're all doing our thing. It's really cool to see your friends, you know, you study together and all like off doing their own music. Like with very eclectic sort of music tastes in our group, and it's very cool. You know, like so like Ash Ballett, she's a amazing trumpet player in Melbourne. Does all the pedal stuff, like Melbourne jazz. Like it's just incredible. Like she's really groundbreaking, like the stuff she's doing. And her husband now, which is crazy. Dan Waddingham, like he's got this crazy shit happening. Every time we like sit down, we have a chat. He's just like telling me about this hectic shit about sound and how to manipulate sound. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm just playing notes, man. He's telling me about sound. I live with my homie, like Jazz Tobias is like killing it, in the corporate scene, is doing this thing as well. And I'm gonna not mention everybody. It's kind of crap.
The library will be closing and you'll still be listing names.
Totally,
and
100%.
I'll just be like, Andre, this is great, but let's talk about the Melbourne music scene.
Yeah, totally. Well,
this is the Melbourne music scene.
This is the Melbourne music scene. Yeah. But it's like Ash Griff as well. He's doing like bulk musicals, Vaughanville Smash, all that. But it's really amazing to see like the friends that you study with at uni go off to do their own music, and it kind of brings it back to me, sort of like my journey in the Melbourne music scene. Like I played around a bunch of bands, and it's been awesome, great learning experiences. Still playing in those bands now, like Miss Amelia, she gave me a start in the soul scene, in that Melbourne music scene. She was like the first person I hustled. Like at uni, like I saw a clip of her playing, it was just trumpet. And I was just like, oh, what if there was a sax there? That'd be pretty cool. And then I sent a message. I'm like, yo, like, do you need a sax? And she's like, okay. And then we're in now, and we're still like very close friends to this day, and we're kicking around as well. She's kicking off again. Yeah.
Did you know that you wanted to perform? Because like I have this thing where, like I'm back in a band now. I'm back in a band now, and people always like, oh, did you know you wanted to perform and stuff like that? And I was like, probably my hottest and most controversial take is, you're not really a performer until you perform in front of people you don't know in a very public way. So like, you are very much a performer when you're doing it in your living room. And you're doing it for friends and family and all that. That is a performance. But I think in the professional sense of the word, whether you're getting paid or not, once you step onto a stage where you're completely out of control, the only control you have is the performance you're about to give, like the notes you play, the sound you make, the music you play. For me, I was like, that's when you transition from person who plays music to performer.
Yeah. I definitely suppose that's true at the start, because that jump from playing with your friends and playing for your friends and family, or like it's high school or uni, and then you start performing with strangers, just kind of like, well, this is like different,
you make that odd mistake you've never made, and you're like, exactly. Oh, can I actually do this?
The nerves are on 100%. Yeah, but I think these days I find it harder to perform with friends and family. Because like, if I'm being honest, if you like, we did 170 Russell, that was hectic.
Oh, we have to. We will go into 170 Russell. Like,
but it's, you can't see past 5-6 rows.
Yeah,
it could be 50, it could be 100, it could be 1,000, it could be like 10,000, and I can't tell you. On stage, it's like it all just blurs, right? So I'm quite chill with Playlunch shows, because like you get used to the set and all that, and like I said, you can't see past the first few rows anyway, so it could be as many people as you want.
And it becomes muscle memory at some point.
100, yeah.
I guess the crux of the question was, did you know, like after playing the sax for a while, and you're like, I really enjoy this instrument. I want to do this. I want to, not necessarily as a career, but like I want to get in front of people and say something.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think I just did it. I wanted to do it at uni because I just really loved it. And I think that performance element was definitely a part of it, but it was never really like a conscious decision. It wasn't like, I want to perform. But that being said, I think I've always been a performer without willingly acknowledging that. Like in high school, I did magic. Year 8, that's how I made friends in year 8. I didn't have social skills, so I just did magic instead.
There you go.
Yeah, so I was always like doing tricks for like high school mates and teachers and stuff, and I think that's definitely a big part of performance, and maybe I learned a lot from that performance style. It's like a little bit showy, a little bit stylized, a little bit clean, right? And I've sort of carried that into my music a little bit, like, they call it patter. like how you talk during your tricks, how do you interact with the audience and stuff like that. So maybe I carried a little bit of that. Also, I started watching wrestling in COVID.
Oh yeah.
The big performance elements there. You a wrestling fan?
Oh, dude, huge WWE
let's talk,
fan.
Let's talk later. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
Yeah. But like wrestling is, I love wrestling because it's just a musical theater, but there's more throwing and punching and you know, macho.
Oh.
Good fun. But I steal a lot from that for performances for Playlunch because it's a bit like OTT, you know.
Oh,
like,
yes.
yeah.
I've seen. I mean, I'm just trying my best to get to a Playlunch show.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the date is going to sync up at some
Yeah,
point.
for sure, yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
gonna get there, and I'm
Yeah.
just gonna be like, I'm just gonna have the camera in one hand, and
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be like,
Yeah.
do I enjoy this or do I take photos?
You should enjoy it
You
for
know?
sure. Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is just buy 2 tickets and come to
Yes.
2 shows.
100.
And then one show I'll photograph and one
Yeah.
show I'll just be like, no, I'm just now here to have fun.
Yeah, 100, yeah. But gets back to your performance question. I think it was only later on, especially maybe like last few years, maybe even last year, where I sort of got launched into my solo project. You know, so I guess I'll talk a little bit about like, you know, my music. So I collaborated with my homie Bryce during COVID. Started producing because we couldn't play music live, essentially. And we made a beat tape called Whoa X Oz, and it's like jazz hip hop. You know, I really got into hip hop around that time as well. Like 50 Cent was my first album I just fucking loved.
Get
Like,
Rich or Die Trying.
yes, sir. Yeah,
Get Rich or Die
that's
Trying.
crazy. Like, you know, if you haven't checked it out, please check it out because like you'll learn something. You know, it's just the intent there is just killer. You know, and I sort of like to carry that attitude with me, whether like Playlunch or jazz or hip hop. Like, you know, I really love his way that he moves through life. You know, it's like it's very hustle bustle. It's very it's just in your face, and I love that about it. You know what I mean? It's unapologetic. You know, unapologetically himself. He got shot 9 times.
9.
9 times. So, you know, when you get shot 9 times, it's like the music you make is going to be pretty real. You know,
Do you also know like part of the reason why he talks the way he does, the
Yeah.
way he raps,
Yeah,
is because
yeah.
of the braces he
yeah,
had.
yeah.
So it's like,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, totally, yeah. And like that's just I love that about it. And no, I'll talk a bit about my jazz as well, but that sort of got me started into producing. And I dropped this beat tape, and it's really dope, and I really loved it. I thought it was going to be more commercial than jazz because I'm like hip hop's commercial, right? And then the shit we came up with is like, oh fuck, this is not that commercial. That's okay. It's like, you know, but it's still stuff I really like. And then we decided to sort of work in our own music projects, and I got just an opportunity to play at Baosu from Thai, and she's like, you want to come through? I'm like, cool. And I was going to bring my jazz quintet there, but then I went to a gig, and I'm like, oh, actually, this is probably not quite the vibe for straight ahead jazz. So I started writing, and I needed that deadline there, and I wrote the tunes, and we played it. And now I'm sort of working out what my artistic vision looks like for my own music and my own project. And it's very much me. It's very unapologetic. It's very raw. It is unfiltered. Like, we're not going to hold back just because it's a lot. You know, like this is, you know, for people who don't know, it's I dub it as trap jazz with an Asian influence, you know, for my cultural heritage. It's almost like an excuse to explore my roots, you know, because I was born in Australia, and, you know, mum and dad always made sure that I kept like that Chinese. So like I speak Cantonese, which is I think quite rare for any ABCs, Australian born Chinese. TM that, yeah. It's quite rare for anyone born in Australia who's Chinese to speaking Cantonese. You know, I think.
yeah, it's normally Mandarin.
Mandarin, 100%. But yeah, and a lot of Mandarin speakers sort of come over when they're like, you know, primary school or high school. But like, I was born here, and I managed to sort of maintain the language. I can't read or write, so I'm straight up illiterate. But
It's fine as long as
Yeah.
as long as you can speak.
Yeah,
you'll know when someone's talking smack.
yeah, 100%, right? And
Yeah.
Cantonese is known for the swear words as well,
Oh.
so we're really good at that. Yeah. But I guess the music sort of allows me to sort of explore what it means for me to be Chinese. You know, like I guess in high school, I tried very hard to fit in, to be Australian. I think everyone does that. You know, it's not new and it's not a big problem. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just kind of a thing that you go through as a
You're
kid.
just trying to fit in.
You're just trying to fit in,
And
trying to survive.
You're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
There's this idea of what it means to fit in.
Yeah, totally.
And it gets labeled as being Australian.
Yeah, exactly right. You know, especially if you live in Australia and are born here
Yeah, it's
as
like,
well.
oh, I don't fit in, so I have to be Australian to fit in, but I was born here, so therefore I am Australian. But what?
Yeah,
and it's like you do these mental
yeah,
somersaults.
totally. Yeah, and it's totally natural. No, I see kids doing it now, you know, and I'm kind of like, hey, fair. I was there too, bro. Like, you know, some of the brothers will be like fully button down shirt, Ralph Lauren, chinos, you know, they're just on. You know, these guys are on. I'm like, hey, man, I remember that. That's cool. I did that shit as well, you know. It's
Give it 10 years. You'll be wearing a t-shirt and jeans and that'll be your life.
Yeah, totally. 100, man. Right. Yeah, totally. But now, like, with this project, Way Out East, I get to explore that, you know, delve into traditional Chinese music. I'm planning to get some collaborations with some traditional instruments. I'm gonna, you know, that all will be revealed, but I just don't want to, you know, drop too much. But it's been really amazing just working on that and what it means for me to be an artist and what does that look like, you know?
Yeah. And that was like my first introduction to you, right? Was so we have a mutual friend. He will not be named.
No, we will never name him. No free cred.
Correct. Not for him.
No, never.
Not for him, right? But I was like starting out my photo journey, right? So I was like, all right, I know I want to do live music photography. That's definitely what I want to do. And obviously I need to photograph people. And I didn't want to box myself in. I knew very early, I didn't want to box myself into just the music I listen to because, well, what I really don't want to box myself into is the music people think I listen to, right? It's not really a secret. I'm a huge Metallica fan. It is a bit of a surprise to some people. I'm a Dream Theater fan because prog rock is just, you know, prog rock's always like prog rock, right?
Yeah,
like people are like, oh, you're a prog rock fan?
But Dream Theater is amazing though.
Oh, they're great. They're great. And like huge influence on me. But I was always like, but I grew up listening to a lot of jazz. I grew up listening to a lot of classical music. Louis Armstrong, Nat King Cole, Luther Vandross. I mean, not necessarily jazz archetypes, but a lot of jazz influence.
They're jazz, straight up,
you know. But and then I sort of like as I grew older. I don't know if you remember this movie, The Terminal, with Tom Hanks.
No, I don't. Yeah.
It like the whole arc of it is him just coming to America for like this thing to fulfill his dad's wishes, right? But there's a lot of jazz references in there. And so I then was like, oh, I haven't heard of all these guys. So I actually went and like listened to them.
Cool.
And so I got into more jazz that way.
Yeah, totally.
So jazz has always been like this sort of thing that I don't talk about. And so when our mutual friend, who shall not be named, was like, my friend Andre's playing, you know, Way Out East. He's at Bau. So I was like, cool, let's go. Let's take some photos. Let's get it on. And I remember just sitting in the audience in between snaps and everything. I was like, this is very unique because there's there's almost like the comfort of what you know as jazz. But then there are these other elements where you know that there's some hip hop that's being pushed in here, and I don't say pushed in a bad way, but you know, that's what it is. It's hip hop that's being pushed in here, and it is not really exploring maybe the themes of what people know as jazz, which is very probably American based of a certain time period. Not that that's a bad thing, but that's sort of maybe how people experience a lot of jazz, right? And I remember walking away thinking, wow, that was such a cool gig. That was such a cool gig, and really got me like more interested in your work as well. And then obviously, you know, I go on and I take photos and all that. And then I've also seen you as part of your Andre Lew trio.
Yeah, totally.
Right? When you played at Wesleyan. And that was also a very interesting experience because it felt very stripped down. It felt very almost a bit more traditional jazz.
100, very straight ahead,
And nonetheless, still, you know, a pleasant experience to listen to. I still love, you know, being there and like experiencing it. And I was like, I wish I could stay longer. I had to dash, but then it's so almost then refreshing again to go like, okay, so there's all this Way Out East stuff, which is like trap jazz, and then there's, you know, the more traditional jazz work, and then you end up at Playlunch.
Yeah, totally.
Not necessarily that's the end goal, but you end up at Playlunch, and then it's like, as a listener, I end up at Playlunch and I go, it just all kind of works.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Because I guess for all these three things, it's very much a part of my musical identity and my personality. You know, like for my originals, my trap jazz stuff, like that's sort of where my creativity and where I can display my artistry in that music. And then if you go to the traditional jazz stuff, that's my roots. Like that's where I started. That's where I learned how to play. I'm still learning how to play. We're all learning how to play. But that's sort of a display of my interests, I guess, as opposed to my artistry. It's I really love trad jazz. I love straight ahead jazz. Always will be practicing that stuff. Always striving to get better. And then you go to Play Lunch and it's like, well, that's my silly side.
That's the side that you're just like, you can just drop the facade a little bit.
Yeah. You don't have to be so serious. I think the music is serious. Maybe we treat it seriously, but the music is not necessarily taking itself seriously. But a lot of people who are really listening in, they're kind of like, whoa, wait, these songs are actually really good. They're actually amazing songs. Like the songwriting is really good and the music's really good. Because Play Lunch wouldn't really work if the songs were dog shit.
No,
it would just people be like, ha ha ha, Keith, and then you'd be like, oh, actually, I don't want to listen to this because this is trash. You know?
Yeah, it's a one hit wonder.
Yeah,
cool,
totally.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember Station Rat came on, and it was just everywhere. It was like on the socials, and it was like, I was just like, all right, I gotta listen to this, and I was just like, had it on fucking repeat. And I was just like, yes, I am passed out at a station in Baronia. I have not been to Baronia station, but sure. It's just so like, I remember thinking then and there, I was like, okay, these guys, something's gonna happen here. It almost feels like sex ed is a bit of a turning point in
100%.
Play Lunch.
Yeah, there was a lot of discussions around what the second album name was going to be. And it was going to be between Sex Ed and Get Around It. And the band was divided. I'm not going to name names.
That's all right.
Yeah, but...
No free cred?
No free cred. But I was definitely... in the Sex Ed camp. Because Get Around It, to me, sounded... It's a great album name. But it's kind of more of album one. Who's ready for a good time? Get Around It. Very obvious through line themes here, right? You know, Aussie culture, sort of backyard, XYZ, ABC. But Sex Ed's kind of like, when you hear it, you're like, whoa.
Yes.
What the fuck? You see the album cover, it's like, oh, what the fuck? You know, whenever I sort of, the way my creative process works is if I hear something, whatever, and my brain needs to go ping. I need to get a ping in my brain where I'm like, oh, what? I have to have that feeling because that's what I want to elicit in people. You get that ping feeling because I love that about art and about music. You get the, whoa, what the fuck did I just?
I know what you mean. Because when you look at the cover of Sex Ed, it grabs you. You almost kind of stop and you go, what's going on over there?
Yeah, it's like why is this guy's pants down?
And it's like there's a simplicity in it. That is very, very captivating. And I think like a lot of people will probably listen to Play Lunch and be like, oh yeah, it's just a bunch of guys having fun. I was like, oh, don't get this. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. There are a bunch of guys definitely having fun.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
But I know that this kind of music works.
Yeah.
And it works more than people are willing to admit.
Or maybe not willing to admit, but just not consciously thinking about it.
Yes.
Because if you're enjoying something, you just enjoy it. And that's great. You know, that's the best thing about art is you can just enjoy it. But if you sit there for a bit and then you listen, you're like, oh shit, like there's a lot going on here that's really dope. And it's not just the joke. There's a lot of underground stuff going on where if you clock in, you're like, oh, cool. Oh, this is awesome. You know, and that's what I love about, Play Lunch. And because yes, we're having silly fun on stage, and I wouldn't want to play with any other boys. You know, like they're the homies. They're the crew. I love all of them so much equally as well, which is I think very rare for a band where you love everyone equally. But I love genuinely. I'm best friends with all of them. Like seriously, we have different relationships, but like same category of friendship.
I totally understand because it's like when you're in a band, I think people think it's all just fun and games, but I think people don't realize that there's a lot more friction involved than they see. There's a lot of arguments. I always tell people, I say, if you want to learn conflict resolution, don't go for a masterclass. Just join a band.
Join a band, 100.
Join a band because in the end, you have to. There's a deadline. You have to get on stage. You have to play this music, and you have to play it in a way that people are gonna like it. And you don't know if they're gonna like it. You don't know when you write Station Rat.
No, you don't.
You're like,
Yeah.
Okay, we like it,
Yeah. Well,
and we feel strongly about it,
Yeah.
and we like it, and we're gonna put it out.
yeah.
But there's that element of, okay, we can put it out.
Hmm.
Are people gonna like it? And you can't really control that.
No, and I guess as an artist, the only thing you can do is to just make something that you're like, this is dope.
Yeah.
Because if you don't think it's dope,
Why are you doing it?
how the hell will anyone think it's dope? If
How can
don't
you
think it's-
convince anyone?
Exactly,
You can't.
right.
You can't show that passion. You be, oh yeah. We wrote that stuff.
Yeah.
And people are gonna go,
Yeah.
this guy doesn't like his own music.
Yeah,
Why
exactly.
should I like
Why-
his music?
Why would I give a shit about it? Yeah, totally.
And I think that's very different to being skeptical of whether you wrote something good.
Yeah.
Because there are
Yeah.
times where you write something and you think, I don't know if this is good,
Mhm.
and then people go, "Oh, bro, I really like that,"
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
it builds the confidence.
Builds your
back in
confidence.
it.
Yeah, totally.
But
yeah.
if you just outrightly just don't like what you've put out, there's no coming back.
You're
from
wasting
that.
everyone's time.
Yeah,
There's
you're
no
wasting
point.
your own time
Yeah,
more than
totally.
anything.
Yeah, 100.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
forget everyone else's time. You're wasting your own time.
Yeah.
But coming from so Play Lunch, obviously, I'm just raising my hand
Yeah,
up
totally.
to
I
the
love it.
sky
I'm
for
gonna
the
do that
people,
too. It's
right?
kinda
Just
nice.
yeah, just raising my hand up to the sky.
Yeah.
So Play Lunch, obviously, right there. But let's drag it back again.
Yeah.
And so, was it Miss Amelia? Did you
Miss
say?
Amelia, yes,
Miss
sir.
Amelia
Yeah,
was the
yeah.
first person you hustled.
Yes.
And you said,
First and only. Yeah.
first and only that. You only
Yeah.
needed to do it once.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Right? And you said, a little bit of sax would be good in there.
Yeah.
So talk to me about your first gigging experiences in Melbourne.
Oh, it was great. I look upon those times very fondly because we had no idea what the fuck was going on. Like, I remember one story, I got the wrong Brunswick Street or just one of the streets I got wrong suburb. So I couldn't drive at the time. So the guitarist gave me a lift and we're like, oh shit, this is the wrong venue. This is the wrong place. So we rocked up to the gig like 15 minutes late and then ran up, set up, and there was 2 people in the crowd and it was parents. So it's like, you can't do that now. You can't rock up to the wrong venue. And also, there's no one at the gig. You know what I mean? It's like there's these sorts of gigs that you learn from because you'd rather be late to that one than to a Play Lunch show. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it's. I love the time there. We gigged a lot. Crowds of varying sizes, obviously, because when we were all starting out, you learn how to perform. You learn stagecraft. You learn how to learn your parts. You learn how to play a song together. Learn how to communicate. Organizing rehearsals, like blah 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 blah. Learn all those things early, where the stakes are very low, and you have lots of energy, right? And then now it's the opposite. Like the stakes are very high, and you have no energy. It's either age or it's either there's just more shit going on. But like these days, I can't gig like I used to. I mean, we will be. For the regional tour.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there will be a big tour happening.
Totally.
We will get into that.
100, yeah. But it's we're not doing like gigs that aren't like, leading anywhere necessarily, like for my project, my aim is to put on a few gigs a year that are very big as opposed to like lots of gigs every year which don't have much consequence. I think it's for me, it's for my band. I don't want to like be like, hey, do you want to play at blah, blah, blah for $20? And they're the homies, so they'll do it. But I don't want to do that to them. That's kind of whack. But
it's a way of it's setting the tone for what you want.
Yes.
Your project. To be.
Yeah, totally, yeah. But yeah, those early days had so much fun. Still one of my favorite gigs of all time, top 5 gigs, was playing with Miss Amelia at Nightcat. It was our first Nightcat show, late like midnight set, 2 sets, and that was one of the best gigs of my life. It was amazing. First time playing Nightcat.
Such a great venue.
Yeah, man, my favorite venue in Melbourne. Easy, right? But first gig we played there, and the crowd was digging it. They were loving it. We were playing covers. We nailed the covers, and I just felt like, oh my, this is amazing. And it's still top 5 gigs of all time, And we're doing shows now. Miss Amelia, she's got a couple booked in for next year, and they're going to be great. But that's where I sort of started. And a few other projects I was involved in as well. I played with Carla Gare a little bit. She's on My Brilliant Career. That was kind of a full circle moment. Like she came to hang out at the Sydney show at Manning Bar, and she got to see me play. So that was really cool. But yeah, the early days I look back very fondly on because you don't get to do that again. You know, everyone's very silly. Everyone's in uni. We're having a good time. Well, and I'm still doing that in Play Lunch now, but it's like a little bit different. People kind of give a fuck now properly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like when people like say they've heard about Play Lunch from a third source, or, you know, like for instance, this is a good example. Like yesterday I was at a family's Christmas lunch, right? And I went because it was my babysitter who remained in contact with mum.
Oh, that is quintessential Asian.
Yeah,
thing.
100%.
That's the most
right?
quintessential
yeah,
Asian
like
thing.
it absolutely
That
is.
just crosses boundaries.
Yeah.
That borders and oceans can't stop that kind
No
of
way,
stuff.
yeah. And, you know, they still keep in contact, and I'm just like, yeah, let's go, you know, like Christmas, all about family, you know, so I want to try and spend some more time. So I went over to my babysitter's daughter's Christmas lunch, and the daughter's husband, you know, owns a guitar shop, and he was talking about the Play Lunch. And I was like, what the fuck?
I'm in Play Lunch.
Yeah, but it was just very like surreal that they know about Play Lunch, they care about Play Lunch, they're enthusiastic about Play Lunch, you know. So it is very surreal. I think that's the main difference. Is kind of like it's got its own legs now. You know what I mean? Like, and we can only keep doing what we do, and everything else that's happening is kind of like just a nice little reward, you know, a nice little token of like, hey, you've worked hard, you know, here's a little thing to show for it. But we're not going to let any of that sort of affect how we operate, I guess. Yeah.
No, I think that's really, really good because like.
Sorry, just
No, it's all right. Just a bit of mic adjustment happening mid podcast mic adjustments. No, I think like it is so. I always have this big thing, right, where whenever I go to a gig, I always tell anyone that's like the most important thing for a gig, the music can be good, the venue can be crap. All that doesn't matter. The most important gig item on the menu is that a gig must be fun.
Yes, 100.
It must be fun, and every artist and genre gets to define what is fun for them.
Yeah.
Right. I am very lucky as a photographer to be able to experience different kinds of fun. When I come to the Way Out East show, or if I go to the Hassel show.
Hassel's guarded, by the way.
Oh, Hassel.
Yeah, 100, yeah.
Like, I cannot say enough great things about her. Just can't say enough great things about her. And like if I go to a Quiet Neighbors show, or if I'm at one of my own shows is in my band, right? And it's like there's a different element of fun. And I like personally cannot wait to experience a Play Lunch show. But it's so important to building that like buy-in from people. Yeah. Like if you want to get the legs walking on their own.
Yeah.
Like ultimately you want people to be talking about, oh man, you have to go to a gig. You have to go to the gig.
Yeah, totally.
You know, like because that is the thing that I feel is so important to like there's a lot of music that it's great to listen to, right? Like I'll give an example is like classical music. It's great to listen to. It's a great listening experience. But you don't say, oh, we have to go listen to Paganini's Fifth. Because it's a fun show. You say we have to go listen to Paganini's Fifth because these people who are playing it played it in such a different manner, and it's so enthralling to just sit back and listen.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
and there's enjoyment. Don't get me wrong, but it's not fun. It's not like the kind of fun you have as a kid. Yeah, where you're moving and all that. Yeah, and I think you do a very good job of making your experiences fun. Yes. Even your Andre Lou Trio stuff, it's a different kind of fun. It's very stripped down. It's very relaxing. Yeah. But it's fun. Yeah. And I'm huge on, like, you know, you talk about, and maybe this is where the magic has come in. You know, maybe this is where, like, it all comes full circle. You know, the magic and the patter.
Yeah, the patter.
The patter. Helps you build that.
Yeah, it's like you want to form a connection with the audience. You want to make sure that they're like, oh, this is great. I actually want to be here. Yes. Yeah. Because, you know, I love going to see live music, but, you know, for me, when I see a show where, you know, the music is happening and they're playing, but it's kind of like I could be there and I could not be there. And it feels like they wouldn't even notice me leaving a little bit. Yes. It's like you kind of want to be acknowledged by the band. It's like just one of those things. I think, you know, the magic and the wrestling side of things, like it is a little bit showy, it is a little bit staged, but I kind of like that because it is a show. You know what I mean?
It is a show, but it's suspending the disbelief for the period of that show.
Yeah, totally.
For the period of that show,
Yeah.
you kind of like, I don't care what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes, I know that it's my friend.
Yeah.
But right now, that's not my friend.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
my friend. That's Andre Lew, saxophonist.
Yeah, totally.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's a different person who comes out.
Yeah, like, and I like I think Playlunch does fun very well.
Oh yeah,
Because we're not afraid to sort of outwardly show our enjoyment. I feel like there's different stage personas, right? You know, when I am way out east, I'm not as active in the quote unquote fun portion of it. Like, I'm sort of there to sort of do my thing, and I want to do it to a degree where the audience can be like, oh, I get what he's doing. Like, I can see the passion. I can see that these guys are striving for something. They're trying to push for something in the music. And I just, hopefully that we are so strong in our conviction that the audience can see that and almost buy in and be like, oh, I get it. I get what they're doing here. Like, this is crazy, you know, what they're trying to do. And that's how I want to sort of have the audience member feel. It's like, you know, tap into what I feel, how we feel about this music. You know, when I play this music, I feel this way, and I'm trying to communicate to you, this is how I feel, and this is how much I love the music. I love it this much. I want you to see what I see in this music. And I think if we just sort of go so deep into this thing where we're not censoring ourselves, you know, we're going in as hard as possible, if not even harder. And as an audience member, you just kind of have to let it wash upon you and be like, oh, this is crazy. Like, I don't even know I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to look at. But this thing that is coming off stage, I'm like, oh, okay, I see it now, yeah.
Is that like a different kind of experience you're trying to build?
Yeah.
And I guess what I'm hearing, do you feel like you are more, I mean, Playlunch is obviously up. There's a part of you that is Playlunch.
Yeah, 100%.
Right?
Yeah.
There's a part of you that's Andre Lew Trio. But it sounds like the thing you really want to say is with Way Out East.
Yes, that's where my sort of artistry and creativity lies, you know. So I think there's like different types of music, right? You know, there's dance music, which is, you know, Playlunch. Singing music, which is also Playlunch. But there's sort of like the way that I like to enjoy music and sort of how you sort of enjoy jazz is just by sitting there and listening. And then there's nothing quite like seeing a really amazing like jazz band and they're cooking on stage. And, you know, for me, sax, obviously, like, and the sax player's just ripping. And you can see that the whole band gets to a point where it's just like they're just one and they're communicating with each other and they're all going for this thing. And then eventually, like, the music swells and it just gets to a point where you're listening there and you're just like, it's almost euphoric. You're like, whoa, like, that's crazy. That's amazing. It sort of it's like an out-of-body experience almost. You're kind of like, whoa, you've transported me to somewhere higher, you know, somewhere that's not of this earth. And we can get into like the sort of spirituality things. I talk about it way too much, but like that's sort of like what I'm striving for, you know, when the music takes you sort of off this earth and you get to see life the way that the musicians see life. You know, that's sort of what I want to do. That's my favorite gig going experience when I'm sitting there and I just like feel elated, like elevated, right? And I love that feeling and I want to try and give that feeling to my audience, essentially.
I'm with you because like that whole outer body experience, there are albums that till today I can listen to just start to finish and like there's a slow like sort of sinking feeling of like I am now slowly leaving what, you know, this sort of mortal plane.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
So I understand that whole spiritual experience thing.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
It's funny because I'm the opposite. I don't talk about the spiritual aspect of it at all. I almost feel like it's something to be experienced.
Yeah,
and
totally.
It's almost like I'm not going to talk about it. It's either I experience it or I don't.
Yeah, fair.
And,
yeah,
you know?
totally. Yeah.
And again, it's not a slight on anyone who wants to talk about it. I mean, I certainly vibe with it. You know. Now, the thing about what you're doing with Way Out East, right? It's fairly ambitious, and I'm not dogging that.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm dogging. And nor am I dogging anything in what I'm about to ask. Is it's more of, do you think you're in the right city to do it?
That's a good question. I don't really know.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, this whole podcast, right, is about going behind Melbourne's music
yeah,
scene.
totally.
It's about putting you guys not so much on the spot, but
Yeah.
giving you a sort of a here's the mic. What do you want to tell people around the people? You know, the 5 odd million people who live here.
Yeah.
6 point something million in the state. What the music scene is like. I mean, in terms of yes, it's behind the scene in Melbourne, but really it applies to Victoria. Because I see a very approachable and accepting scene.
Totally.
And one that's like almost an ocean in its own right. And do you see that?
Yeah, 100. I think at the end of the day, if the music is good, it'll be fine. Right. You know, obviously there are pockets of the Melbourne scene, and I don't think I particularly fit into any pocket very nicely, but neither did Playlunch. You know what I mean? So I think if the music is there and it's good enough, people will recognize, you know. Yeah. That's sort of how I feel about it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's I think that's important because sometimes you go to some places and it's like, oh, this music will never fly here. We don't like this kind of music.
Yeah, totally.
But then, you know, it's like, oh, Playlunch is from Melbourne. Oh, Way Out East is from Melbourne. Oh, Hassel is from Melbourne. Oh, Jasmine Adria is from Melbourne. Oh, Quiet Neighbours is from Melbourne. And it's all different kinds of music.
Yeah.
Oh, Aardvark's from Melbourne. Oh, Fly's from Melbourne. Oh,
Yeah.
Vixen Screams from Melbourne. Oh,
Yeah.
and it's all different. And sometimes in that sea of performers, you're trying to carve out just that little bit of the pie for yourself.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And, you know, it's tough.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got no doubt that you'll do it.
Yeah.
I've got no doubt you'll do it because you're an amazing musician.
I appreciate that.
You've got like this great energy on stage. No doubt it helps. You know, if someone says, "Oh, we got to go check out Way Out East," and if someone goes, "Oh, I've not heard of Way Out East," someone can always throw the it's the Playlunch.
Yeah,
it's the guy from Playlunch.
I'm plastering everywhere.
Oh, dude, you just gotta. You just
100. Yeah,
you gotta. Like, you 100% have to be like, oh, it's the saxophonist from Playlunch. Whoa.
Yeah,
all right, let's go.
Totally, yeah, 100. Yeah.
If that's what gets people through the door, I'm not above it.
No, not at all. It's like, you know, it's a big part of what I do. You know, 100%. You should come check me out because I'm from Playlunch. You know, and it's interesting to see what I do for Playlunch and then seeing my own music, and it's kind of like, oh wow, that's very different, but also not really. You know, this is kind of the same guy at the end of the day, right? But in terms of the Melbourne music scene, I think it's easier to do your own thing than to try and quote unquote be in a scene. Because if you're in like this pocket of scene, it's going to be hard to stand out. You know, if you're like this, if you're going to join in a particular sound, then you have to compete with like 100 people doing that same thing, right? But if you just do your own thing, then who's going to compete with that, you know? So I personally find it a lot less daunting. Yeah.
I mean, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
I mean, are there people who are doing music similar to Playlunch? I don't doubt that there are.
Yeah, and then I think we've heard some covers, and I'm sure, like, I've seen a few things online where I'm kind of like, oh, this is like a similar vein. And I think it's really cool that Playlunch sort of like is almost starting a new scene that like it's acceptable to be like, you know, a theme band.
Yeah.
If you want to like reduce it down to like what is sort of can be common or whatever. Yeah. But I think that's great. 100. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the thing about music is that in the end, you don't really know what's going to work.
Yeah. 100. Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's 12 notes. Most of them are the same 7. Arranged in the same fucking fashion.
Or maybe 5.
Or maybe even 5. Some people get away with 4.
Yeah, 4's good. Yeah.
4, I mean, all of pop fucking music is written on 4,
yeah.
right? And it's like, oh, what about these same 4 chords, but just 2 keys up?
Yeah.
Okay, great. It's the same fucking 4 chords,
yeah.
right? So it's kind of like nice to see how you've kind of carved your own thing out.
Yeah.
You've like sort of, I mean, if you say you want to reduce it down to a thematic thing, but I think what makes Playlunch stand out is the way it talks about Australian culture.
Yeah, 100. Yeah.
In this very, very Australian way. I mean, in some ways, you have kind of redefined what fitting in is.
Yeah, totally.
You know, from trying to fit in, you are now kind of part of a writing mechanism that is, like you kind of like, well, I didn't get to fit in, so now I'm gonna write about what it is to fit in.
Yeah, that's actually very true. Yeah, totally. I mean, Liam started Playlunch because it was lockdown, and he just wanted to write some songs that is like made the guys laugh. Like they're funny, quote unquote, joke songs. And then they're like, wait, I think there's something to this actually. And it's also, the songs are kind of like party music for a time that you couldn't party. We're all locked down. Oh, wouldn't it be amazing if we could see this type of music live again and actually have a good time and party? Because, lockdown was just so cooked. So, and I think out of that spawned Playlunch, just a band that wants to have fun and wants people to come and have fun, and also just a reflection of Australian boganism and Australian culture and all that. And yeah.
We alluded to it a little bit earlier,
Yeah.
but it's a great segue because you talk about the whole the lockdown, writing, wanting to experience, and so now it leads us quite naturally to 170 Russell.
Oh yeah.
And so for people listening, of the 4 people who are listening, 170, 5 people now, right? Obviously, our friend who shall not be named does not count.
Never name. Yeah.
No counting, no free credit. 170 Russell used to be called Billboard, and then name changed. But it is probably one of the larger venues in the city.
Yeah,
right? I think it's about, it's like 1,100, 1,200, something like that. And you guys played 2 sold-out shows.
Oh, no, not two
sold
out at 170. We had sold out 170, sold out Lead Beater.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then we also had a Nightcat show the week after.
Nonetheless, selling out 170.
Yeah.
Selling out 170.
Yeah.
Like, forget whether it's 2 nights. My apologies.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
I obviously misread the poster when I saw it.
Yeah.
But selling out 170 and then selling out Lead Beater
yeah.
in the space of like next to nothing.
Yeah.
2 places that are like, stone's throw away.
Yeah.
That's a fucking amazing feat.
Yeah. It was, like I said, it's all been a very big whirlwind, right? And because I always knew that we were going to sell out 170 because, hometown advantage, we're from Melbourne, we love Melbourne, Melbourne loves us, amazing. But the fact that it essentially technically sold out 2 days after tickets released, because we had a week of pre-sales, and then 2 days on official sales, it sold out. And we were just like, whoa. Like, we found out that it sold out when we were at a party, and we're just like, what the fuck just happened?
The beers are on us.
Yeah. And it's just like, it's just so surreal that it sold out so quickly, man. Like I said, very thankful, but it is a crazy experience. Yeah, totally.
I think whenever people talk a lot about the music scene, like on its last legs, and it's doing it tough, and I don't doubt a lot of this, but I think at the same time, like I just came from the Future Static gig. So today is the 27th of December. This episode comes out in January, so it's not. So tomorrow's the 28th, which is a different episode that's coming out. But on the Jesus Christ, can't even look taking the Lord's name in vain on the holiest day after the holiness.
Oh yeah,
on the 4th of January in the new year.
Yes.
We will be gracing our audible experiences with Andre Lew of Playlunch on the Behind the Scene podcast.
Amazing,
right? Where was I? So 19th of, so today's the 27th. On the 19th of December, I was at the Future Static gig at the Bergie Band Room.
Yeah.
Right? It looked full.
Yeah.
And when I say full, I mean sold out.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, there was no mention of, this is a sold out show, blah, 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 all that.
Yeah.
But the reason I think it was a sold out show is I've been to the Bergie Band Room many times. I've never been to the Bergie Band Room when there was so many people that it was hot.
Yeah.
Like you were visibly like, I am sweating.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And then just a couple of weeks before that, I was at Northcote Social for the Khan show. Khan played with Skin Thief and Myriad Drone. A friend of mine's in Myriad Drone. She's a very good drummer. Shout out to her. And that was a sold out show. And so then, you see Playlunch has sold out Lead Beater. It has sold out 170 Russell. Not small venues, especially not 170 Russell. I mean, you're selling out the place that Animals as leaders are playing at when they come down.
Yeah.
And you're selling it out 2 days.
Yeah,
From-
technically 2 days, but yes.
Technically 2 days. We're going with the technical.
Yeah, we'll go technical.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We're getting technical here,
Yeah.
right? Technically, like sales go on,
Yeah.
and then it's sold out. And I tell people, I was like, well, okay, so there's clearly a part of the scene that is not dying.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I think getting people to shows is very difficult.
Yes.
Like, it is very, very difficult. And, I'm into, so a little plug here, I've got my Shot Kickers gig on the 15th of Jan. Way Out East, ex-Mac Koenig, going to be a great night, a lot of saxophone, a lot of fun.
Good.
So come down to that.
Plug it.
Yes, sir. So, yeah, it's because I'm trying to promote my own gig, I totally can feel the pressures of trying to get people down and all that. But there is also a point where you can sell shows out. You know what I mean? It's like with the right marketing, with the right music, with the right band. You just have to sort of go about it in a way that, you just have to grind, essentially. That's what I think. At the end of the day, you can't control how many people come to your shows, but you can control how much effort you put into trying to get people to come to shows. And sort of my philosophy right now is, as long as I put in as much effort as I can to try and get people down, whoever shows up will be whoever shows up. You can't do much more than that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I just played a show with Bleeding. So name of my band's Bleeding.
Great, yeah.
And again, mutual. I'm in the band through a mutual friend of He Who Shall Not Be Named on this podcast.
Who this person is at
No,
this point.
exactly.
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Who are they? Who are they? And of course, like when we announce a show, I'm just fucking slinging it.
Yeah,
Links going to fucking everyone.
Yeah,
it's on the socials.
Yeah,
I've got a schedule of when to post
Yeah,
and
yeah,
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And as much as and I get the pressures, right? It's like, oh, how many people came? And what I will say is that the moment that we're on stage and I get the guitar on and I'm on and I'm like fucking riffing away, I don't give a shit. It's like, whoever's there, I'm rocking out for you.
Yeah.
I'm jumping into the crowd and headbanging.
Yeah.
And, we're going for it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm always appreciative to the people who come.
Yeah,
because
100%. Yeah.
like, thank you for giving us the time and everything. Because, you're trying to say something.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But of course, Playlunch probably doesn't have this problem.
Not anymore.
Not
anymore, yeah.
Right? And that's a good problem to not have.
Yeah. It takes a lot of pressure off, 100%.
When you can say, oh, we're just going to announce a show and bang.
Yeah,
we're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe not to induce any pressure, but does that create a pressure to then elevate? And it's like, we have to be, gig fit all the time because there's now an expectation. This was fun, but now we have to be fun and people have an expectation of that fun.
Yeah, I don't think we let that get to us. I think as performers and as people, we're all very we want to do a good job because this is our job. This is what we do. And we don't necessarily go I think for the first album we did, I felt that big pressure, like, oh fuck, like we almost sold out Nightcats, like 300 some people, like, oh no, like we really got to perform. And after that album launch, I felt very shit. Like that was a tough gig for me, and I think for a lot of us as well, because I think we let that pressure get to us unnecessarily. I think these days we just do it because that's what we do. And it's not because of any external audience pressure or anything like that. It's more so because we're performers, and in order to be a performer, in order to do a good job, you just have to be gig fit and gig ready. Like my life right now essentially revolves around practicing and working out. Yeah, that's like pretty much.
I love it.
Yeah, pretty much all I do. It's like, make sure you're cool on the horn. Make sure your body's not crumbling. Yeah, it's like, man.
It takes a lot out of you.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if people know, but it takes a lot out of you.
Yeah.
If you're not gig fit, and if you're not fit, if you get off stage, you are in ache.
Yeah, 100, yeah.
You are in pain.
Yeah, especially you get to like my senior years of Big 3-0. We hit that this year, big milestone. Thank you very much. Yeah. But it's very true because it's not just the shows now, it's also touring. Touring does get exhausting. It's the best time ever and I love it. But it's not exactly like a walk in the park. You have to make sure that you're fit and you feel good and you get rest when you can. Like I always say that tour sleep is different from regular sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Tour sleep's like recharge. You get 4 hours on tour is like 8 hours regular sleep, And and you're trying to like sneak a nap in sometime during the day, like, you know. So we're all very conscious of that, and we all just want to do a good job, obviously for the fans, but it's also just a standard that we hold ourselves to as well.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
And I think people will really appreciate knowing that the guys in Play Lunch, Andre Lew with Way Out East, Andre Lew with the Andre Lew Trio, that you as an artist hold yourself to a high standard, because I think it just creates this endearment of, I have to see this person because they've just put so much effort in. They're just there, and it's like, how could I not go see them?
Yeah, and I can't like thank the fans enough. You know, without them, none of this shit would be happening.
Oh, here we go. Oh, thanking the fans.
Yeah, thanking the fans. But like genuinely though, you know, like if you guys didn't want to come to shows, then no one would hear about Play Lunch, you know what I mean? And so it's our duty as performers and as musicians and as artists to make sure that we are performing at like the highest possible ability. Otherwise, we're shortchanging, firstly, you guys, but also ourselves. You know, like there is nothing worse than playing a shit gig. Like you feel terrible. Like there's one of the uni teachers, he's like, good gig, you go out and celebrate, drink yourself to death. Bad gig, you go out, drink yourself to death because it was a bad gig. And then if you have a mid gig, it's just like you go home and sleep. And then that rule has held true to like every single one of my gigs I've played in my life. Every single time. Yeah. So want to try and make sure you have more good gigs and bad gigs. But bad gigs will happen. And sometimes it's not even in your control necessarily. It's because of other factors.
Yeah, and you just got to roll with the punches.
Yeah, totally.
But the best part about all of this is people can come and see you. And because this comes out on the 4th of Jan,
yes,
I believe it comes out before the big regional tour.
Oh, yeah.
So before we kick it off and sign off, tell me, big regional tour, this is great because people often forget the regions of Victoria.
Yes.
And they're just like, well, we're going to play Melbourne.
Yeah,
but
totally.
I think it's great that you're going to all the different regions in Melbourne.
Yes.
I mean, Lenny Kravitz was here and played Mildura.
That's hectic.
I know.
That's amazing.
I was like, Lenny Kravitz played Mildura? That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, you know, so I just think it's great to see, you know, I'm looking at like the bands in town or Ozsticks, and I was just like, oh, they're down here and they're down here and they're down here. So, you know, excited, ready, ready, pumped.
Super excited, super keen. There's a lot of dates there. We're going to have a lot of fun. It's just like, I'm not looking at my calendar because I kind of don't want to. Because if you know exactly how many gigs there are, it's kind of like, you know, oh crap, we have 29 gigs. But it's like, oh shit, we got 29 gigs coming up. But mainly, we're just super excited to play shows for people, and especially in places that we haven't played before. You know, they get to come see Play Lunch, you know, which I think is just a really good time. Yeah, so I'm really, really keen, really excited, and it's going to be a huge year next year. So yeah.
Oh man, I can't wait. I honestly can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just so insane that for me, I'm sitting with someone who has like created this sort of moment in Australian culture.
Sure, yeah.
And like that's my, like, I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
You know, right? And I think this episode does come out before the Triple J Hottest 100.
Yes.
Yes. So make sure you go and vote.
Please vote. Yeah.
Like,
it's, crazy sidebar though. Like
Yes.
we're on Sportsbet right now.
I saw that.
Yeah, I think we're like a $8.50 to win Hottest 100, which is absurd. Don't get me wrong. I look, to be fair, I initially was like, we're not getting in. Like, there's no way. Like, Hottest 100 is massive. There's no freaking way. And then more and more things happen. Sportsbet happens. People are voting, and we're like, okay, we're probably going to get in. Like, I'm pretty confident that we're going to get in, but top 10, like, no way.
I'm gonna just be really honest here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be filthy angry
Yeah.
if this song is not in the top 10.
I'm
gonna be filthy fucking
I
angry.
appreciate that, but it's still like, you know, that,
I know.
that's a surreal thing, right? It's like, it feels like it's not happening to me. I feel like it's just happening and I'm also there. You know what I mean? I think all the boys feel the same as well. It's kind of like, what do you mean we might make it top 10? What do you mean Sportsbet is, you know, $8.50 to win the Hottest 100? Like, that's crazy. You know?
All of that could not have happened.
Yeah.
And I would just be telling people, I was like, I'm sorry, you genuinely have an opportunity to pump what is essentially one of the best songs written about Australian culture in I can't fucking remember.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And you get to make that whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So vote for them. Just fucking vote for them. Like, I don't know. For me, and this is not slighting other songs, but it and it's not slighting other artists. It's just for what feels like the first time in so long, there is a band which is local, which has written a song which is about the local traditions and customs and cultures. In the most digestible manner. And that's not an insult. I know sometimes people go, "Oh, my art is not digestible," blah, blah, blah. And it's like, shut up and eat the cookie.
Yeah,
right?
I love digestives. They're one of my favorite cookies.
Shut up and eat the cookie. And it's like, if this song does, I mean, I'm saying this now as a fan, right? And for me, it's like, no, I just can't see how this song is not a top 10. If it doesn't win, an argument could be made. But if it was 11 and not top 10, I'd just be like, nah, this is rigged. It's bullshit. It's fake news. It's just nah.
Still doesn't feel real to me. And I don't want it to get to my head or any of the boys' heads. I think we all feel very similar about it. It's like, I think we're getting in. I think I'm confident in saying that now. I think there's even a chance that Raining Man might get in. And I think I might put a bet on Raining Man hitting 100 because I think it's a nice, $10 bet. Throw away. Betting is bad. Gambling is bad. Don't do it. But I'll be putting $10 on for funsies. Yeah. But like top 10 to me, just like feels really surreal, and maybe we'll look upon this podcast when the votes come out and when it happens and we're like, in the top 10, I'll be like, well, I guess should have backed ourselves a bit more. But I just, to me right now, very surreal. We'll see. Keep an open mind.
We're keeping an open mind.
I'm not saying that it's not going to happen, but I am saying that if it does happen, I'll be like, holy fucking shit, what the fuck is going on? That's how it
Well, just think of this is more a call to action for the people listening.
Yes, this is true.
If you make it happen, think of all the merch and all the things that we are now a top 10 triple J. Playlunch gets on stage and says, thank you for making us a top 10 triple J. And it's like, oh my God, and you get to feel a part of that.
Yeah. And that would be amazing. We would love that if you guys could get just little votes. Little votes there.
Just little votes.
Yeah, just little votes. Yeah. But like I said, Surreal next year is going to be freaking huge. Playlunch is going to be doing some really exciting things, like things we can't talk about yet, but very, very exciting things. And also, there's some really cool things happening with my music as well. I've got some moves locked in. And it's going to be very awesome, very cool. So stay tuned for all that. But yeah, it's going to be a big year. Looking forward to it, man. Yeah.
Mate, I can't wait. Andre, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me, man.
We're going to sign off, but we're going to sign off in the best way possible with the best song possible.
Okay, let's
Here we go.
Yeah.
Shaved head, tatted up, about 6'3". He was our neighbour when we lived on Hotham Street. And though we never got his name, we called him Keith. Keith had a white Volkswagen Amarok that he parked out front his house with a steel two-wheeler trailer that he liked to tow around. One day a mate was coming round and parked out on the street. And little did we know we had just started World War III. Little did we know we had just started World War III. The bloke was seething, he was enraged. Knocked on our door, like a dog in a cage. We opened up, his face was red. Took off his speedies and he said, don't park with my trailer, cunt. Don't park in my spot. It's the second time this week and I'm about to lose the plot. I phoned up the council and the bloke said it was mine. Moved his shit heap of a car to the other
just as easily park it over there.
You could just as easily park it over there. And from our porch, we watch the scene as something snapped. The man turned green. He pointed his finger and he said it clear. Open up his lungs for the world to hear. Don't fuck with my trailer, cunt. Don't park in my spot. It's the second time this weekend I'm about to lose the plot. I phoned up the council and the bloke said it was mine. Move your shit heap of a car to the other fucking side. It was a Tuesday afternoon we last saw Keith. The current affair crew came rolling down the street. He heard a knock and opened up his door. Shocked and perplexed, Tracy Grimshaw. She held the mic right up to his face, called him out for everything and said, "You're a disgrace." But Keith wasn't listening. His eyes were locked deadpan, staring at the camera crew and where they parked the van. He said, "Don't fuck with my trailer, cunt. Don't park in my spot. Keith, second time this weekend I'm about to lose the plot. Don't do it.